What's up, guys? Benny. This is Emma Watson. She is a actress from England who, at the age of 10 years old, scored the role of a lifetime as Hermione in the Harry Potter series. She'd go on to star in all 8 films and make untold tens of, maybe hundreds of millions of dollars from them. Emma Watson won the lotto. She's mid when it comes to acting talent. I've never really particularly liked her work, and nobody even knows what the hell she's done outside of Harry Potter. A work that, of course, was gift-wrapped and handed to her by the author J.K. Rowling. But when it comes to extremely privileged children who really didn't have to earn anything or create anything, just had sort of life gift-wrapped for them, you can't expect them to actually know how the world works. And as soon as a little bit of pressure was applied to Emma Watson, she turned on J.K. Rowling because J.K. Rowling had the temerity to say that men are men and women are women, and that men shouldn't play in women's sports or be allowed to legally beat up women, and that men shouldn't be doing these kind of things because, well, it's immoral and wrong and biologically insane, and incorrect and anti-science. And so these are normal opinions that all of our ancestors have had for all time, and all of science has up to this day. J.K. Rowling said those things, and it made J.K. Rowling the most hated person on earth. And even though Emma Watson owes all of her fame and all of her money to J.K. Rowling, Emma Watson has trashed her time and time and time again. Whenever she's asked about this, all these little Harry Potter actors and actresses, they're all asked about it, and they're given a script by their handlers and their left-wing managers to say that J.K. Rowling is the world's biggest bigot. But J.K. Rowling has finally snapped on her creation, Emma Watson, and her career. Emma Watson, because the cultural tides are turning, decided to give an interview recently and was asked about J.K. Rowling and her non-controversial opinion that men are men and women are women, which is, by the way, the feminist position in all of this, of course. And she gave like this meandering non-answer. Listen to this.
I really don't believe that by having had that experience and holding the love and support and views that I have mean that I can't and don't treasure Jo and the person that I had personal experiences with. I will never believe that one negates.
Just shut up. I can't listen to it anymore. She's trying to walk back or fence sit. And now that culture has totally and completely moved on from this issue and is swinging back wildly towards science and history and our understanding of male and female biology, Emma Watson is doing her best to try and take it all back. J.K. Rowling ain't having any of it. It's amazing how transparent these people are. Now that she's not getting cultural participation awards, right, for sitting there and trashing J.K. Rowling on behalf of the trans agenda, she's sitting there giving these non-answers. This was a post put up, the clip of somebody saying exactly that, saying, I think she's going to find that you can't sit on the fence. The real win is when ordinary people can just speak the truth, right? Well, J.K. Rowling responded to this clip. This is a clip effectively defending her and attacking Emma Watson. J.K. Rowling has destroyed Emma Watson forever and there's nothing left. And it's because she is a writer and because she's so good at the pen and the quill, I think it's worth reading it. There's a line in here that's so savage that it almost melted my computer screen. And I think it will melt yours as well. Here we go. I'm seeing quite a bit of comment about this, so I want to make a couple points. This is J.K. Rowling. I'm not owed eternal agreement from any actor who once played a character I created. There you go. See the tone of this? And the idea is that the idea is as ludicrous as me checking with the boss I had when I was 21 on what opinions I should hold these days. So he's saying here that Emma Watson doesn't owe me anything, right? Emma Watson doesn't have to agree with me, right? I'm not saying that. Emma Watson and her co-stars have every right to embrace gender identity ideology. Such beliefs are legally protected, and I wouldn't want to see any of them threatened or loss of work, violence, death because of them. However, Emma and Dan in particular, the Harry Potter actor, have both made it very clear over the past few years that they think our former professional association gives them a particular right and an obligation to critique me and my views in public. Years after they finished acting in Harry Potter, they continue to assume the role of de facto spokespeople for the world I created. When you've known people since they were 10 years old, it's hard to shake a certain protectiveness. Until quite recently, I hadn't managed to throw off the memory of the children who needed to be gently coaxed through their dialogue in a big scary movie studio. For the past few years, I've repeatedly declined invitations from journalists to comment on Emma specifically, but notably the witch trials of J.K. Rowling. Ironically, I told the producers I didn't want her to be hounded as a result of anything I said. The television presenter in the attached clip highlights Emma's all witches speech, in which, in truth, that was the turning point for me. But it had a postscript that hurt far more than the speech itself. Emma asked someone to pass on a handwritten note from her to me, which contained a single sentence: "I am so sorry for what you were going through." She had my phone number. This was back when death, rape, torture threats against me were at their peak, at a time when my personal security measures had to be tightened considerably, when I was constantly worried about my family's safety. Emma had just publicly poured more petrol on the flames, yet through a one line of expression, concern from her would reassure me of her fundamental sympathy and kindness. Okay, so she's saying that Emma Watson, while she was publicly trashing her, still tried to be nice behind the scenes. And this is where J.K. Rowling just absolutely takes out the chainsaw and goes to work. Like other people who've never experienced adult life uncushioned by wealth and fame, Emma has little experienced of the real life. She's ignorant of how ignorant she actually is. She'll never need a homeless shelter. She's never going to be placed in a mixed-sex public hospital ward. I'd be astounded if she's been in a high street changing room since childhood. Her public bathroom is a single occupancy, and it comes with a security man standing guard outside the door. Has she had to strip off in a newly mixed sex changing room at a council-run swimming pool? Is she ever likely to need a state-run rape crisis center that refuses to guarantee all-female service? To find herself sharing a prison cell with a male rapist who's identified into the women's prison? And this is my single favorite line of the whole thing. I wasn't a multimillionaire at 14. I lived in poverty while writing the book that made Emma famous. I therefore understand, from my own life experience, what the trashing of women's rights in which Emma so enthusiastically participated means to women and girls without her privileges. Ooh, oh, savage, just absolutely spicy. I was a multimillionaire at 14. I lived in poverty while writing the book that made Emma a multimillionaire at 14. See that? The greatest irony here is that Emma has now decided in her most recent interview to declare that she loves and treasures me. A change of tact that I suspect she's adopted because she noticed full-throated condemnation of me is no longer quite as fashionable as it once was. I might never have been this honest. Adults can't expect to cozy up to activist movement that regularly calls for a friend's assassination, then assert their right to the former friend's love, as though the friend was in fact their mother. Emma is rightly free to disagree with me and indeed to discuss her feelings about me in public, but I have the same right, and I finally decided to exercise it. Woo! Can you see how this has done 14.2 million views, 191,000 likes, and 35,000 reposts? Goodness gracious. Some of the comments here. Don't you think that as she grows older, she might be intentionally distancing herself from the belief that she held when she was young? She could have contacted me privately at any time, says J.K. Rowling. Say her views have changed. If they had, I'd have been entirely supportive. What she's chosen to do instead is yet another bit of public brand repositioning without talking to me, but using me for her purposes. It's getting old. J.K. Rowling is just going complete and total scorched earth, savage mode against these little privileged Harry Potter actors and actresses, little nepo babies. All this could be said for your support of the migrant situation in the UK. You supported that and you've yet to publicly denounce those views. Maybe that's next. We'll see. But either way, I appreciate this. An absolute and total nuking. And so does the internet. I lived in poverty while writing the book that made Emma famous. Whew. Just the single biggest post on all of X that I finally called out actress Emma Watson Emma has so little experience in real life that she is ignorant to how ignorant she actually is. I wasn't a multimillionaire at 14. I lived in poverty while writing the book that made Emma famous. J.K. Rowling is a fearless icon and risked her entire career, safety, and social clout for the sake of keeping our kids safe, women safe, and calling out science fiction. Insanity claims that there are more than two genders. I'm grateful for her. I have no interest in anything associated with Emma Watson. The world is finally waking up to the woke BS, says Rob Schneider. Like other people who've never experienced adult life, uncushioned by wealth and fame, Emma has so little experience of real life, she's ignorant to how ignorant she is. It's beautiful. Just beautiful. Emma Watson's 35 years old. She's not a little girl anymore. She's a grown woman who spent years stoking the flames of hatred against the woman who treated her like a daughter. Now that the J.K. Rowling hate train is less fashionable, she's decided to row back on the condemnation and claim that she still treasures J.K. Rowling. Stick. Emma's a grown woman. She isn't owed forgiveness of youth. She should be treated a spoiled, ignorant adult. Today's a bad day to be Emma Watson. J.K. Rowling writing about Emma Watson. Stop. Emma Watson is struggling with her cognitive dissonance. She knows J.K. Rowling is speaking the truth about trans ideology. Emma Watson thoroughly deserves every word of the stressing down. Exceptional. J.K. Rowling taking a limousine liberal Emma Watson to task, being unmoored from reality is a wonderful way to start. J.K. Rowling masterfully taking down Emma Watson. Light the fire. Me starting to read this, not caring about Emma Watson at all, and then reading J.K. go bar for bar, tearing out Emma's whole argument apart. Emma Watson is the epitome of a millennial tragedy. A pretty and smart girl who was fed all sorts of feminist brain slop and will now most likely die childless and alone. J.K. Rowling is a modern civil rights hero, says Riley Gaines. What? I mean, how are you gonna come out the queen? How are you gonna do it? What are you gonna like? What are you gonna say? J.K. Rowling actually created these worlds in these books that are, as far as I know, like the single best-selling books in modern publishing history. And then you're going to sit there and attack her and not expect finally to get just completely nuked, hogtied, and earth salted from space? Nah, man. Well done, J.K. Rowling. Don't mess with the writers, man. They got the flames. It's your boy, Benny. Like, share, and subscribe. It's a good one. See ya.